In today's video, we're going to walk around the country of Panama. During the daytime, we're going to start out walking around different areas, and then we're going to head on into the night and walk around at night, show you what it's like and what you can see walking around in Panama. Let's get started. So for the video right here, we're standing on a corner area, right on a busy corner, as you can see. Bright sunny day out, lots of cars traveling by, and we're going to go walking down the street here and see what we can see. Right here are lots of buildings. Actually, going to Panama, I was just really amazed how big this gigantic city is. Building skyscrapers everywhere. Now we're walking around a side street here. There's a little bit of a nice breeze going on, as you can see, some of the trees blowing, and lots of things to see, lots of things to do, as you'll see as we're walking around today. You'll get to see a lot of different things as we're walking around here today. Lots of scenery, lots of buildings. Panama is actually really surprised me. It's a gigantic city, much bigger than I ever expected. When we got there at nighttime, and then walking around during the day, it was like, wow, look at all these big buildings. That's my wife standing right there. We're going to go walking down the street here a little bit and see what's going on. You can see restaurants, lots of condominiums everywhere to stay, lots of places to stay, buses going by constantly, Ubers driving by. Now there's two guys sitting up on that building there, hanging down by the rope, cleaning the building. That was pretty amazing. My wife's taken some pictures of that. And this is a very busy road. Actually, we got scared a little bit. We heard a big bang. There was a car going by, and his tire actually blew out right on the street. It was a big explosion sound. That was pretty neat. Anyway, we're going to continue walking down here. Here we are at a red light that's just turned green. And one thing you're going to see, there's going to be a lot of Toyota cars here in the country. A lot of Toyotas, a couple other brands, a lot of American-made cars. When we were in our trip to Portugal, you don't see as many American-made cars as you do in Panama. There's mostly American-made cars here, and a big difference here I noticed when we were in Portugal, most of the cars, at least a lot of them, were diesel cars, where here in Panama, most of the cars are gas-powered cars. So there is a big difference there. And look at all these nice skyscraper buildings. And going across the road here, they have a lot of walkways like you can see right here. So you can go from one side of the road to the other. Another scene of some more buildings here. And we're going to go across one of these walkways right now that's going to take us across that road that you can see in the background. But in between these roads is this grassy area, and they have all kinds of different things for people to do. Basketball courts, workout equipment, a little bit of everything. You can just go out and use all this for free. It's included in just part of being a citizen there. Now this is one of the walkovers we're walking up right now. It's got these beautiful palm trees growing up on each side. And from the center area, when we get to the top, we'll be able to look down right over the top of the highway from different angles and see more of the city. Getting a little bit closer to the top here, there's actually some other tourists up here taking some pictures in the same place that I'm going to take some pictures in here just shortly. And here we are looking over one of the main roads here. Lots of buildings. This is just one small area of the city as well. This city just goes on for miles and miles and miles. It's actually like going to New York City. I think it's much bigger than actually Miami as well, even. And right to the right is the water. Now it's over to the left at this angle. But the whole city right here faces the ocean side, so all these condos have fantastic views of the water. And in most of these areas, you can walk down to the bottom area of the condo, just walk around the block. There's shopping stores, there's restaurants. We're going to hit some of the restaurants later, and we're going to walk by some of them when we get into the night scenes. And all along this area on the side of the road, not only is there like tennis courts, basketball courts, but there's this wide walking area and a bike area. So you can go biking, walking, as you're seeing people here. And right in this area, we walk by this marina coming up here. They got a marina there, restaurant, lots of things to do here. Great prices on food, great prices on groceries. And here's a really nice view looking through the water with the city in the background. And here we're actually at our Airbnb. I'm up at the top floor just shooting some video showing what it looks like. You can see more of the green areas in between these different roads here, shooting down here right on the road. In the traffic times of the day, the busy times of the day in the morning and around 5 o'clock or so, these roads are just completely packed with cars. But later in the night, everything calms down and you can actually walk across the roads with no problem. Now here's the Panama Immigration Office. This is where we got our visa. My wife's all happy here. She's gonna go, yay, we got our visa. And after we got the visa, we took an Uber there. We decided to walk down the street because there's a store that's similar to like a Sam's Club. Actually, in Panama, there's so many stores that are very similar like what we have in the United States. And as far as even restaurants, you'll find McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell even there, chicken places, basically all your fast food joints that you would see in the United States you will find here as well, but also lots of authentic Panamanian restaurants. And this area we're walking by, I didn't realize it until we started walking by here, but this is a really busy area of brand new car lots. So you could come down here and buy your cars. And there's lots of different car lots here. It's amazing how many car lots we walked by. And eventually we're going to get an Uber and we're going to drive a little bit more. So you see a little bit more of that. A lot of Toyotas, like I said. We always see a lot of Toyotas. It seems like probably half the cars we see driving by are Toyotas. And then there's a couple other unique brands just to Panama that I've never heard of before. We also seen some Mitsubishis, I think it's called. Don't really see many Fords. Occasionally you might see one. And there's actually a Chevy dealer that you'll see coming up. This is not the Chevy dealer. This is another brand of car that you basically see in Panama. And as far as safety, some people might be asking about safety. We had no problems, never felt unsafe. Just like when we were on our trip in Portugal, we never felt unsafe. Traveling all through the country for a month, running a car going from city to city. Now look, even a Popeye's chicken. And right behind this Popeyes area is this shopping center that we were trying to walk to, but we got there and realized we got our immigration, our visa early in the morning, and actually the store wasn't open yet. Here's an Office Depot, just like you'd see in the United States. And here's this big store here in the background. This is similar to like a Sam's Club or a Costco. You pay for your little card and then you can go in and buy everything in bulk. But we were going to go in here, but they were not open yet. We were there too early. We got our visa so quick when we went in and out, we weren't there more than 30 minutes. Now I'm inside a car in an Uber, and this is a mall, a multi-story mall here. We didn't go in the mall, but we're just driving by it right here. And there's lots of really high-end malls in the area. In fact, one of the other videos I'm going to put out is a mall we went into. It's one of the largest malls in the world. One of the 20th largest malls is right here in Panama. There's a McDonald's I'm driving by, Metro Plus. They have all kind of cell phone services here. Even where we were staying, we could walk down to a Hooters restaurant. Driving by some gas stations here. You can pretty much get anything that you could get in the United States, you can get right here in Panama as well. Alamo Rent-A-Car, I think that is. Now there's the Chevrolet dealer. You can buy a Chevy. They have different versions of them there specifically for Panama. Looks like a Yamaha dealer. So right now, like I was pointing out, we had rented an Uber to drive us back. There's a Toyota dealer. So we're driving right now in an Uber. I'm just shooting some video out the window as they're bringing us back from the immigration office where we got our visa, bringing us back to the U hotel or Airbnb that we rented. There's a Hyundai dealer. And there's grocery stores all over town, from the large grocery stores to a lot of mom and pop little small grocery stores. Now here, this is another day. We walked down from our Airbnb. This is about 2 blocks down from where we're at. This is like a little mini shopping center. It's got this escalator that you can ride up, and there's like hair salons, some restaurants. There was also like an ice cream shop, a bread shop, a little bit of everything. There's the nail garden, get your nails done. I'm going to walk around here a little bit and show you what that's like. And there's a view from the back area, shooting some of the buildings back behind this little shopping center. And up on this second floor over there, there's a restaurant. You can see all the chairs. There's really awesome looking hamburgers and steaks that they make there. We didn't eat there because we had already eaten earlier, but I would actually like to eat there. It looked really good. And there's their menu. It's maybe not in focus all the way, but you can get an idea, maybe some of the prices. Prices there are fantastic. We could basically go eat a steak dinner, or I could have a steak, my wife could have a fish dinner, for what it cost us both to go eat at Burger King down the street here in the United States. The meat quality is fantastic there. It tastes really good. It is a little bit tougher than the United States, so you'd have to get used to that. The fish, you can get fresh fish, eggs, super fantastic eggs. They're very hearty. And the coffee, if you like coffee, I used to think when we were in Portugal that I really liked the coffee there, but now in Panama, this coffee is even better than the coffee that we had in Portugal, because Panama is actually a gigantic area for growing coffee. Some of the most expensive coffees in the world come from Panama. That was a little pet center, and then we were walking down the street here. There was a bunch of these little bonsai trees that were out there somebody was trying to sell. And this is another shopping center. That's actually a chicken restaurant down below. And here we go, going into the nighttime now. I think I might be on that same corner that we were on earlier, but now at nighttime. So this is some of the nighttime traffic right after the sun goes down. This is where it was still a little bit busy this time of day. You wait about another hour or so and that traffic really dies down. And here's another view of some restaurants. Down at the bottom, there was quite a few restaurants. Here's the Hilton Hotel, which is also a casino. This was just like a half a block down from where we were staying. So we're just walking down this main strip area. And a lot of people come out at night because it gets a lot cooler. Because during the day while we were walking around, it's like 90 to 92 degrees out. Now this right here is behind the Airbnb that we stayed at. You walk out the back area, and that's a chicken restaurant right there. And we didn't eat there because, once again, we've eaten so many places. But if you walk by there, you see that place really packs out in there. So it's really a popular place. Now we're just walking around a few blocks away and more inland from the water side. Very safe, no problems. Nobody harassed us. Nobody said pretty much anything. And we actually ran into a lot of American expats there and a couple Canadian people. Some people out walking their dogs. They walk their dogs later at night. And here's one of the restaurants that we walked by. This is their window display of showing some of their foods. A lot of things here, food-wise, are very similar things that you would see in Portugal. But I think the food quality here is actually a little bit better. There's some kind of financial center. And I say the food's better because they actually raise their own beef, raise their own chickens, grow their own fruits and vegetables. And grow their own coffee. So they're very self-sufficient with all their food, and the food quality is extremely good. Now, this was the U resort or tower. This was the Airbnb we stayed at. We were way, way up there. You can see how tall this building is. They must have had, I think, about 6 different elevators, and even taking an elevator ride up to the top takes a minute or two. And this was another area here. This is a street going down the side of some of the buildings. And this is a restaurant here. This restaurant would stay really packed, especially on the weekends. We actually tried to get in there on one weekend, and we couldn't even get in. You had to have a reservation, but you can go during the week, and it's not so bad. Then you can just walk right in. So we did get to eat there during the weekend. Or not the weekend, but during the week. The way it works at this restaurant, you go to this ordering area, you order your food, then you go sit at your table, and they give you a buzzer like you see like in a lot of US restaurants. So your thing buzzes, you have to go pick up your food, bring it back to your table, and then you eat outdoors, or they also had some indoor tables. Now, this was another restaurant. They were closed this day. I'm not sure why. Here's another restaurant. As you just walk around the corner from these condos, just a block and then 2 and 3 blocks inwards, it's just restaurant after restaurant, bars, buffets, lots of things to do here. You can just walk. This was a really high-end steak place. We were going to go to this, but we never did make it to this because we went and did some other things. This place, too, you have to get a reservation, especially on the weekends, or you can't even get in. And this was some kind of buffet. This is another thing. We did not go to this. We couldn't, we were there for just a week getting our visa, and we ate at basically a different restaurant every day, except for a few days we bought food and groceries because we wanted to see what the grocery cost was. And you can see that in my other video where we went grocery shopping. So we did do some cooking in our Airbnb, and we actually cooked breakfast every day, had eggs with hamburger or eggs and a little bit of steak left over, things like that. That's another restaurant there on the left. This is looking in that restaurant. They actually sell a lot of wines there. I think Portugal has a lot of wines. So does Panama. And they have wines from all over the world. And this is some of their menu right here. They have steak, seafood. And what you will find is a lot of restaurants also have Italian food because there's a lot of Italians here, because I was told that Italians are the ones who first started building the Panama Canal. So a lot of their families moved over here, and then over the years more and more families moved over. So there's actually a lot of Italians and a lot of Italian restaurants you will see. So a lot of regular restaurants have an Italian part of their menu because of that. Now here's another restaurant bar. You can go in here. This is like a fenced in area. You go in the fence, and there was actually about 7 or 8 different small restaurants within that area. Now we're heading back, walking down the sidewalk at night. A really cool little design there. And here's another shopping center. There were some yogurt places in here. Okay, now we're eating at this restaurant here. This was the first night we're there. This is the top restaurant of where we were staying at in our Airbnb. This was extremely dark. This restaurant was so dark, I couldn't even read the menu. I had to get my cell phone and turn it on to light it up to even see what was on the menu. And then it was all in Spanish, and I don't read Spanish, so we had a hard time even figuring out what to order. Now this is another restaurant about a block or two, about 2 blocks away from our Airbnb, and I had some chicken. My wife had shrimp again, or no, she had salmon, and then we had a shrimp appetizer. That was the shrimp appetizer right there. And I had some Balboa beer, which that is excellent. I really liked the beer when we were in Portugal, but that Balboa beer right there is equally as good as any beer I had in Portugal. And that was the chicken I had. That was extremely delicious chicken. It was just fantastic. And my wife had these salmon and some vegetables. And right next to us, these people were having a birthday party. And my wife started talking to them. They're from the United States, and they had a cake there, carrot cake, and they had a bunch of it left over. So they actually gave us some carrot cake for dessert. So it was a lot of fun. Okay, well, we're almost getting to the end of the video now. They're celebrating their birthday. So I wanted to say thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Going to have a lot more videos. We're just waiting now to sell our house, and then we're going to be moving to Panama. So we're going to go through that whole process. You'll get to go along with us, follow us through the process. And I've got some more videos on Panama coming out from our trip. So please like and subscribe. And hey, I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned something about Panama.